Everyone, and welcome back to a very special episode of The Verdict. As the annual Oscar season rolls around, we're going to be looking at our picks for the main 5 categories. Stick around. Hello everyone, my name is Clark, and today I'm joined by my co-host, Mo and Rashawn. For this very special episode, we'll be looking at every episode, or every member of The Verdict, cast and crew has anonymously cast their votes for who should win each category we'll be discussing today, and we're actually going to be finding out the results live. So without further ado, the first category that we'll be looking at is Best Picture. And the nominees for this category include Oppenheimer, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Poor Things, and American Fiction. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is like the most tough category. This is a tight race.
No, I 100% agree with you on this.
Bro, you like The Holdovers. I don't know. Listen to you. That's,
listen, no. So we have reviewed some of these movies.
Yeah.
We have done Barbie, right? I think you did Barbie actually, and that was
the first episode of the
Yeah, and that was a big hit for you. I did Killers of the Flower Moon, and I had some words about it, but
You've come around.
I've come around. Yeah, I kind of want to talk about that.
I love to hear that.
And you've also talked about Oppenheimer.
Yes, I believe so.
Yes. So whether on camera or not, you definitely talked about Oppenheimer and how you've enjoyed that movie. I also have some words for that one. The Holdovers and the other one, I just wasn't too much of a fan of. I think Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Oppenheimer are 3 strong options for a winner.
If you had to pick one, though, who did you cast your vote for?
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Rashawn, what about you?
So it was a hard choice for me between Oppenheimer and Barbie. I chose Oppenheimer just because I felt I liked it a tad bit more. I originally said I liked Barbie more, but over time I rewatched both of them willingly, and Oppenheimer kind of just grabbed more of attention for me. I liked it more.
Yeah, I get that. Honestly, looking at all 6 of these pictures, I really just had such a hard time choosing because I loved all of these for such different reasons. But at the end of the day, I think I had to come around to Oppenheimer too because I saw it 3 times in theaters. I'm sorry. Are
we going to discuss this now? Do we want to talk about it now?
We can get into the beef now.
Okay, let's get into the beef now. I was not a fan of Oppenheimer. I think the directing was great. I think that the cast was good. It just was such a slow start, and then once it got to that moment, I felt it was a slow
start.
Yes, I felt it took me Okay, so I watched this when I had COVID, and I'm in my room, and I had nothing else to watch but this, and I was not a fan.
That's a slow start, yet you're okay with Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay.
That's boring.
So, okay, we're going to talk. So when I had talked about Killers of the Flower Moon, me and Jasmine went to go see it. Of course, we fell asleep. Didn't realize it was 3 hours long. I rewatched it. So initially I had a lot to say. If you go back and watch last semester's reviews, I had a lot to say. It was okay. It was not my favorite. But after rewatching it, kind of getting a little bit more information and facts on it, I actually really, really enjoyed it. Right. I think that Leonardo played a great role. I think that Robert Downey Jr. was great in it. I loved that they had original members, and if I believe right, at least 7 original members from the Osage tribe that were in the film, and then everybody that was in the film was somehow connected to somebody that had went through the killings and stuff like that. And I didn't know that until after the fact. So, yeah.
So you said, who were the characters again? Leonardo DiCaprio and who else?
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Dang, that's crazy. That's not what you said a few minutes ago, but cool. All I'm saying is that you say that Oppenheimer was kind of like a slow start.
It was.
I don't know, man. Killers of the Flower Moon was slower and more just boring. I feel like I was just more invested in I don't know, in spoilers if you didn't see Oppenheimer, in a student trying to poison his teacher.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
See,
That's a real thing that happened too.
Yeah.
it wasn't really.
Yeah.
Like he for real, like
He
He
tried
really
to,
put,
yeah.
I think it was cyanide in his teacher's apple, and he got expelled from his school for it. But I don't think they showed that, and his parents had to
Wow.
like beg to get him back in. But
Yeah.
that is wild. I actually didn't know that, but it still does not change my mind that I was not a fan of Oppenheimer. I
That's
liked
okay.
Barbie
That's okay.
more than I liked Oppenheimer.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, I mean Barbie was a solid movie. Let's not like throw that one out
yeah,
there.
let's talk about Barbie too. I mean, come on, like I think it is kind of the outlier in a sense in all of these movies, but not to say that in a bad way. This is definitely more like the more commercial success and more just like a more fun blockbuster, but it still did so much in terms of like set design, writing, cast. I mean,
Plus, don't forget, it was a really big inspiration for like last year. We just had that discussion, not discussion, but what's the professor's name came in and talked to us about Barbie being talked to in one of our classes, along with the Eras Tour and the Renaissance.
That's right. Yeah, it was like it did. I just learned that like it did so well like overseas and it's still like making it's hit over $1 billion in
Yep.
countries with like patriarchal societies, but people are still bringing like their kids to watch it like to this day, and like I think that's incredible. I think it's very influential to the movie scene, and we're gonna be seeing a lot more like that, and I think that's great.
Yeah, I think overall the casting was really good on Barbie. I think it's hard to. I feel like Barbie is such an icon for girls and some boys, but for girls, and it plays into this is what I should look like, and I felt like that movie really kind of knocked down those barriers of, hey, you know what, you can be this kind of Barbie or this kind of Barbie or this kind of Barbie. Since we've reviewed that show, I actually I hadn't shown my daughter the movie yet because I hadn't seen it yet, and I've watched it since, and I've also watched it with my daughter, and she absolutely loves it. You know, she's 5. She thought it was a great movie. She had a lot of words to say, and she was smart enough to catch on. Like, okay, you know what? You know, Barbie, she's pretty. I'm pretty too, even though I look like this. You know, so
Exactly.
I really enjoyed Barbie. I wouldn't be mad if Barbie won.
Oh no, me neither. I think
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's honestly tied between Barbie and Oppenheimer and American Fiction. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard really great things about it. But I'm pretty
love
sure it's
American
mostly
Fiction,
between
yeah.
Barbie and Oppenheimer.
I don't think American Fiction is going to take it though.
Oh no, highly
Yeah.
doubt it.
Yeah.
And if it does, then kudos to it.
I
but
don't think the holdovers have a real run in the game either. I don't think it just had enough publicity. I don't think it had enough traction and audience to really just make a difference. Like I said, I think Barbie, Oppenheimer. I would like Killers of the Flower Moon to win. I don't think they will because, like I said, I don't think it had enough traction enough, even though it did have an all-star cast. So
Yeah, it's not going to win at
Yeah.
all.
I agree. I think like Oppenheimer, Barbie, and Killers of the Flower Moon were much more of like a commercial success, and they were definitely highlighted more than your Poor Things, American Fiction, and holdovers. You know, A24, they just need to be on their game about distributing in the future because more people do need to watch these movies. They are incredible movies, but at the end of the day, it's got to come down to one. I'm gonna lock in my vote for Oppenheimer. Rashawn?
Oppenheimer.
I am going with Killers of the Flower Moon still.
God, it's a
I
joke
am
pick.
I'm still hopeful for Killers of the Flower Moon.
That's a perfectly acceptable
Yes.
answer. I think we need to take it to our announcers and see who the winner of this category is. Let's find out.
All right, let's go.
Hey everyone, my name is Jasmine, and it is my honor to present the winner for Best Picture. And the Oscar goes to Oppenheimer.
Oh,
What?
I mean,
you know
come
what
on.
though? I figured Oppenheimer was gonna take it. I feel like in actual Oscars, Oppenheimer is gonna take it.
I think so too.
I think just the directing. I think that it's just, you know.
I say a lot of Christopher Nolan movies do. End up
Yeah,
getting it, so.
Christopher Nolan, it definitely
True.
killed it. You know what? I think I would be more excited to see Oppenheimer if I would have seen it in IMAX.
Yes.
Yes, I think it would have been a lot different rather than just sitting in my room.
I
That's
would have been
definitely the full
disappointed if I watched
experience.
it in IMAX.
You think so?
I would have been disappointed
Why?
because I really wanted to see that bomb drop.
Wouldn't you see it better in IMAX?
Yeah, it didn't show it in IMAX though. I wanted to see it like.
It didn't?
No, because if you remember, they just the test site. Yeah, sure, but like I wanted to actually see it, then recreate it. But that's just me.
That's another topic for another day.
Yep.
But I guess moving on to the second category, we're going to be looking at Best Actor. And the nominees for this category will include Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction, Bradley Cooper in Maestro, and Coleman Domingo in Rustin.
Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying I am a Paul Giamatti fan to the fullest.
He's great.
Yes, I mean, he's been
great.
acting for a long time, and I feel like he is a strong candidate. Do I think that he will get it? No.
What do you want him to get it? Who are you rooting
Oh,
for?
Paul
Yeah.
Giamatti.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
who I voted for. I like
Me too.
Paul Giamatti in the.
Really?
Holdovers.
You
Yeah,
voted
no,
for-
I
Yeah.
voted for
so
Paul Giamatti.
we all anonymously voted, so we don't know who voted for who, but that is crazy. All right.
I loved him. I mean, like I said, I'm a fan of him ever since I watched like Big Fat Liar as a kid.
Oh,
That's
exactly.
a classic.
That's like one of the first movies that come to mind. That and what is the other movie? With Robert De Niro.
I know what you're talking about.
You remember when Robert De Niro was a mobster?
When is he not a
There's
mobster?
so many movies
that's
like
so.
that.
That's
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah,
specific.
that does not.
That's
Yes, I like Paul Giamatti. I think he's a great actor. I think he did very well in this film, and I think he is. I think he's a good run for it.
also not to mention I've never heard of the last two. I'm not gonna lie. I've never heard of Maestro or.
You didn't hear Maestro?
I heard not a single word about Maestro. No.
I think Bradley Cooper. He's been rooting. He's trying to get this Oscar for a while now, and I think this was definitely his best run at it. It's unfortunate that it just came out in a year that, all these other amazing performances came out, because it was very transformative and it was very interesting to see his portrayal of that real person.
Yeah,
Um,
I think, not to cut you off, but I think Bradley Cooper. I don't think it's his year. I think he did great, like you said. I think there's just too many other options.
Exactly.
It was nice to see him kind of. I think he's trying to break out of his regular roles. I mean,
Sure.
he started off in comedy, then he went into a more serious role, and I think he's just trying to expand his acting career into being more versatile.
And directing.
And
'cause,
directing, yes.
I mean, this is, the category for acting, but he did direct that movie as well, which is very impressive. It's a very hard task to do.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you got to think you got to direct and act at the same time and still be able to see and get that vision on screen while you're doing that vision, So I think it would be, I'm hopeful for Bradley Cooper, but I also, like I said, I do want Paul Giamatti to take this one.
What kind of
Definitely.
movie was this? The Maestro.
It was about a composer. Off the top of my head, it's been a while.
Was it the one, the black dude who plays the violin? Was that
No,
it?
Bradley
No.
Cooper is definitely a white man.
Yeah.
No, okay. I was thinking about Bradley Cooper, but when you said like a musician, I was thinking about that one who came out. Was it last year or the year before? But like.
No, it's not that one. I know which one you're talking about,
Okay,
and
yeah.
it's not that one, no.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but Bradley,
good
once
to
again, we
blackface.
want to put that disclaimer out. Bradley Cooper is a white man, so.
This is true. You heard it here first.
But as far as the other actors go, I don't think they're up. I think Oppenheimer is going to take this category also.
Really? Yeah. Cillian Murphy, he did do a great job portraying Robert Oppenheimer.
No, I have hope for Paul Giamatti. I feel like if anybody really gets this, it's him. Again, I didn't see the last two in the category, but I feel like Paul Giamatti's got this, because as good as the acting was in Oppenheimer, it really wasn't, like, I'd say Paul Giamatti really beats them.
It was much
in
more
this category.
transformative, I feel
Yes,
like.
Yeah.
yes, I 100% agree with you. I think as far as actual character relation though, I think that Cillian definitely has a more on-set look of Robert Oppenheimer.
Yes. No.
Yeah,
I don't
100%.
have anything bad to say about his portrayal. That was very on the mark. You can just tell like the gravity and like in his like eyes alone.
Yeah,
like,
just that sunken look. Because
Yes.
when I watched the movie, I went back and of course, I'm that type of person that's gonna watch something and then I'm gonna go and research it and stuff like
Yes.
that. And I wanted to see what he looked like, and I felt like they were very on par. I felt like the director Christopher Nolan really went and searched out, like, okay, I want somebody that's going to look like him, also have the same demeanor,
It's funny you mentioned that. Since like Christopher and Cillian have worked on so many projects together, I think he was like one of his like first picks. He was like, I need someone who can, kind of carry this sort of seriousness in this role. And he's like, I know who's someone who can do that.
Yeah.
And he's referred to as Buddy Cillian, and it ended
That's
up working
crazy. I
out
didn't know that.
perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, as much as I'm not a fan of Oppenheimer, and it's not even that I'm not a fan. I thought the directing, I thought the visualizations, I thought the acting was great. The storyline was just slow for me. That was my only downfall to the movie, was that it was just slow. I think Paul Giamatti is a great actor. I think he has had versatile roles, and I think this role really just kind of transformed him. And I think that he's a good run for the Oscar.
Honestly, his performance in here reminded me of what's his name from The Whale, Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser,
Because
yes.
we haven't
Oh my
seen
God.
either one of these guys in like a while.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Their names
there's a-
haven't popped
yeah.
up in like a while, and then they're like coming back with these like really good movies.
Yep.
So
That's a great comparison to make, really.
Yeah, definitely.
So, my personal pick is for Paul Giamatti once again, but I won't be upset if Cillian gets it. I think we all agree here.
Yep.
yeah.
I
going
think
for
we're all
Paul?
going to go with Paul Giamatti.
Well, I guess let's find out.
Hello guys, my name is DeColin Fields, and today I'm going to be announcing. My name is DeColin Fields, and today I will be announcing the winner for the Best Actor. As for the Best Actor category, the Oscar goes to.
Come on.
Sorry, y'all gonna have to help me out. I'm having a hard time, so yeah.
Oh man.
Just like the Oscars.
Cillian Murphy from Oppenheimer.
Oh, there it
my
is.
gosh.
Okay.
All right, who are the other ones that voted?
Yeah,
for him?
yeah.
I'm surprised
We
to
all
hear that
agreed
because
for-
all three of us, this was only sent out to like our cast and crew, and all three of us voted for Paul Giamatti, and Cillian still took it. That's very surprising to me.
You know what? But I think that's very on par for the Oscars. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
fair enough,
I wish you guys could have seen like a side view of us while they were announcing, because yeah, we were not ready for that.
I really thought
which
he was
is
going to
kinda
I
weird
really want Paul
because-
Giamatti.
Like I said, us three have voted, and I don't know what our other cast was doing, but go ahead. Yeah, let's go.
That's all right. Well, maybe we can kind of hit the mark on this next category. We're going to be looking at Best Actress. And the nominees for that category are going to be Emma Stone in Poor Things, Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon, Carey Mulligan in Maestro, Annette Bening in Nyad, and Sandra Hüller in Anatomy of a Fall. Once again, this is hard.
Okay. I am going to do... Wait, what were the options again? I'm sorry.
Emma Stone, Lily Gladstone, Carey Mulligan, Annette Bening, and Sandra Hüller.
Okay, so I will have to do either Emma Stone or Lily.
Lily Gladstone.
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
I feel like I know which one you're gonna go with. Either
Who
most.
am I going to go with, Rayshawn?
Lily Gladstone.
I mean, yeah, you said you love the movie. How could you
No,
not go for Lily
but I think
Gladstone?
Emma Stone did a great job. And now the Nyad, that movie, I think she did a good job. But like I said, I think I'm going to go with Lily Gladstone. I think I'm sticking with the Killers of the Flower Moon on this. I think I wanted to sweep the board. And I think she did a great job, to be honest. I think she really portrayed the whole insight of what it was like
You're
during
not
that
being
time.
paid for all this promotion for Killers of the Flower Moon, are you?
No.
Sponsored by.
But if they want to come sponsor me, I'll promote all their stuff. So
Yeah, I would love to see her get that win, because I remember hearing in like early drafts of Killers of the Flower Moon, she was actually only in a few scenes before rewrites. She was
Yeah.
kind of a
Really?
more minimal character, but as it progressed, and this might have even been through the casting, kind of seeing how great of an actress Lily Gladstone is, they made her much more essential, and I think the movie definitely improved because of that.
Ah.
now, if I remember right, Killers of the Flower Moon, that movie took like years and years and years before the director actually decided to produce it. Just because they wanted to make sure that it was correct and right, and they wanted to make sure that what they were portraying was correct information. I mean, everything had a purpose in the film. In that film specifically, I found out later on that there was no subtitles during the actual certain parts of the movie, and you couldn't get subtitles because the director wanted the scene to speak for itself. He wanted the viewer to be able to see it and understand it without actually hearing it.
That's such an amazing creative choice.
Right. I mean, it's just the creativity that goes into that. And Lily Gladstone, I think she just really played into the part. This film was intense. I think it was a very intensive film. And so yeah, I'm gonna take Lily Gladstone for this one.
I'm still between Emma Stone because I mean, as it is, she is just such an incredible actress. But with this role specifically, you know, it looks like she just had like a great time, like just like
Honestly,
in the
they
role.
all did in this movie. Mark Ruffalo, everybody.
Everyone.
Really
It felt
fun
like
time.
everyone was just living it up, just in their little period piece with their funny dialogue.
Yeah.
I mean, but Emma Stone especially, like getting to play essentially in the body of a child, you know, she really just got to play around with that, literally and figuratively. I mean, like she was dancing around, and her what's the word I'm looking for? Her delivery on most of her dialogue was just so perfect. But I think in total here, I think Lily Gladstone's performance was much more essential for the audience. You know, like Emma Stone was really fun and really well done. Don't get me wrong, but Lily Gladstone, like, you really get a sense of how important it is, like the real story. You know?
100%. I think Emma Stone, I think she plays that fun role well.
Yes.
And like you said, I think she just had fun with it, and that sometimes is enough to just make a great film. You know what I mean? If the actors and actresses can enjoy it, and you know that, then it just plays out on film, and it just makes the film only better.
Yeah, for as much as I harp on certain people's takes on Killers of the Flower Moon, I got to admit when good acting is there, and Lily Gladstone really did like steal most of the show. I will say Robert De Niro really is like the main aspect of what really draws me to the movie, even though it's got its problems. But still, I liked it. I really hope Lily Gladstone actually does get this award. But Clark?
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to go with Lily Gladstone too, like I said. But I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's take it to the announcers, see who wins.
So there are so many great nominees for the Oscars this year, but unfortunately, only one can take home the win. As for the winner of the Verdict's Best Actress category, the Oscar goes to Lily Gladstone.
Oh!
Finally, we got it. I think we
called
all
one. There we
finally
go.
got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was excited for that. Yeah, I'm glad she took it. I hope she takes it in the Oscars. I think she is a great actress. So yeah, I hope to see her in more roles, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, definitely deserved. I don't think there's a wrong pick in that category.
No,
I mean,
100%.
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like Jasmine said, you got to pick one. But moving on to the next category, we're going to be looking at Best Animated Feature. And the nominees for this category include Nimona, Elemental, The Boy and the Heron, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and Robot Dreams.
Okay, let's
Did
go.
you all see all these?
I have not seen Elemental or Robot Dreams. I'm going to be honest.
So I haven't seen Robot Dreams, but all the other ones I have because I have kids. And so Elemental. So I feel like, can we get started? Okay, I feel like Spider-Man in this is going to take it. But if my kids had to choose, they would choose Elemental. And well, my oldest son would choose Spider-Man. After I talked to my kids, my oldest son, he's 10, he would choose Spider-Man 10 times over to win the Oscar. But my twins, who are 5, they loved Elemental. It was the sweetest movie. I remember taking my daughter to go watch it in the movie theater. I would love to see Elemental win.
Okay, I can see that. What about you, Rashawn?
I saw Elemental. I saw majority of these movies except for Robot Dreams. I would actually love it if Nimona won. I saw Elemental. I thought it was just It wasn't it wasn't great and it wasn't terrible. It was just another Disney movie. And if it wins, then I'm kind of going to be a little disappointed. I doubt it's going to win with Spider-Man. But if it does win, I'm going to be disappointed because it's another it's a Disney movie. Give it another win. Whatever. I want Nimona to win because, one, this movie went through production hell for like the longest time
Really?
When Disney bought the rights to Fox,
I did
they
hear about
also
that,
got
yeah.
the rights to Blue Sky Studios. And so Blue Sky was working on Nimona for like the longest time. Nimona is actually based on a web series. I can't remember the creator's name off the top of my head, but it is based off a web series, and it finally got adapted. And the movie was like 98% done by the time Disney bought it. But Disney decided to shut down Blue Sky Studios and scrap the movie entirely. Luckily, thank God, Netflix picked it up. So
Yeah.
it came out on there. And when it came out, it was a huge success, and I loved it. I loved all the performances in the movie. I loved the sound. I loved Nimona herself in the movie. It's so good. I don't want to get into spoilers because I recommend everyone should go out and watch this. It's on YouTube for free now since Netflix is promoting it for the Oscars.
Wow.
So you can definitely watch it online for free. Watch it with your family or just watch it by yourself. It's really nice.
Yeah. No, I gave it to you. It was a good film. I didn't know that it went through all that production issues, but it was definitely a good film. I just because my kids have asked, Elemental is my go-to. They are a big fan, so I am gonna have to pick Elemental on this one.
I understand that. I definitely like an underdog story when it comes to like Nimona and like, you know, these creators like trying to get their vision out. I definitely, you know, you have to support them in that regard. But I can't believe y'all have left The Boy and the Heron out of this discussion so far. I mean, come on.
The Boy and the Heron was really good. I actually have the poster for the movie, but I think it's got really hard competition. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, I think that for animated films, I think that it's really up there with, you know, Spider-Man. That's a good movie overall. I mean, Spider-Man has had some killer bops in it. Okay.
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack
the
is just by itself.
Listen, I got my words to say on Spider-Man, but Boy and the Heron, I just want to, like, Studio Ghibli, they've had this animation down to a science for decades now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can, every little bit of, every single frame, you can just tell the amount of passion that's gone into it. And I think it's so visually pleasing to look at, but yes.
Are you choosing Boy and the Heron?
No. My vote is with Spider-Man.
You were shooting Boy and the Heron.
It's a great movie. It's definitely a close second, but Spider-Man, I mean, the animation alone, if you do your research on the first movie, like, and how much, like, the animation that went into that and how it ties in thematically with the story, and then see how they've, like, upped the ante in literally, like, every regard with the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
The thing is, I love too about Spider-Man is the fact that you can pause it at any time. The same thing with Puss in Boots and any release style. You can pause it at any sort of moment in this movie, and it's so good. The art is just so beautiful.
It really is.
Yeah.
And like you said, every aspect, not just the animation, in my opinion, every aspect of this movie hits it. Like, it's a 5 out of 5 star movie for me. Like, that's why I'm gonna have to vote for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Spider-Man, Nimona, Elemental.
Yep,
I was going to say, sorry, before we get on to what our actual announcement is, I want to make this, I just want to say this quickly. Please release Coyote vs. Acme. Look it up if you don't know what it's about. Please look into that.
I will agree with that. It's a similar situation in regards of Nimona and the fact that, you know, the studios are kind of getting in the way of these creators releasing it. And I think at the end of the day, the art is the most important part. You got to put it out there for the people to see, especially
100%.
when
Sorry
people
about
worked
that.
hard
I
on
just had to
it.
get that out there.
No, absolutely, I agree. So,
all right, let's do it.
let's find out the results. Let's take it away.
This is my favorite category of them all. As for the winner of the Best Animated Feature category, the Oscar goes to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
How did
Yeah,
I
I mean, that's fair.
Listen, I think Spider-Man's going to take it for the Oscars, and we will be shooting webs all day long.
I mean,
so,
yeah, you can't complain.
Yeah.
Once again, I feel like a broken record here. It's just, there's no bad picks here. It's in this category, especially, like, everything here is very, very good.
I'm going to have to check out Robot Dreams, though. I want to see what that's
Me
about.
too. Especially if it's amongst one of these movies, it's got to be worth something. So,
Yeah.
I guess the final category we'll be looking at today is going to go to Best Director. And the nominees for this category include Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest, and Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things.
Ooh, okay. So Yorgos Lanthimos, I think, is a good run.
Yes, we gotta. Before we get into this, we gotta remember that these Oscars aren't just going to these directors' filmography overall. It's for these individual movies.
Yes.
You know, like Scorsese's got decades worth of classics, and so you got some more kind of new faces in this category.
Yes.
But overall, I mean, Yorgos Lanthimos, this is definitely the most visually creative out of all of these, in my opinion.
100% agree with you. Now, I am from the very first movie I ever saw from Martin Scorsese with Robert De Niro in was it Driver? Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver. I remember watching that movie. Everything that I've seen from Scorsese has always been just on point. There hasn't been a film that I just up into Killers of the Flower Moon when I first watched it, but after rewatching it, you can just see the detail and art that goes into it. I'm really on the fence for both Martin Scorsese and
Christopher Nolan.
No.
Poor Things?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm really on the fence for both of them. Like you said, Martin Scorsese has a host of great films.
Oh, yeah.
He has Oscars. I think I'm gonna go with Poor Things director.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, I understand that. Like I
Yeah.
said, it's incredible film. And Killers of the Flower Moon 2, like, I think kind of goes back to what we're seeing with Lily Gladstone in the movie. It's like the story overall is just so important for audiences to hear. Same goes for The Zone of Interest by Jonathan Glazer. I mean, both of these, I don't know if that one was necessarily based off of like a true story, but it's about, Nazi Germany,
Yep.
like and it follows the lives of these Germans, and like these are two very important movies to watch, just in terms of history. I'd say the same for Oppenheimer too.
I think Oppenheimer was I think Christopher Nolan is gonna take it. I think he's gonna get this Oscar when his time comes, and I think he's a great director, and I think that as far as directing in the film, like I said, I don't have it's not that Oppenheimer was a bad movie. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't a movie that I would just go out and watch and rewatch multiple times.
See, I'm gonna have to disagree
I
there
would.
because, again, as much as I harp on Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese is a really talented director. He's amazing. I personally think that this is going to go to Martin Scorsese instead. Even though I harp on Killers of the Flower Moon as much, it's just Martin Scorsese's film style, in my opinion, is superior to Christopher Nolan's. Christopher Nolan is really good when it comes to like a more dialect movie than
100%.
Scorsese.
Yes,
No.
I think he's more like concept heavy than like
Exactly.
visually.
Whereas Martin Scorsese, he's good with a lot of, per se, not actiony, but like sort of kind of like.
You're more visually inclined to it.
Exactly.
Yes, 100% agree with you on that.
See, and that kind of conflicts with me a little bit because I'm more of a like dialect person. I like a lot of shows and like a lot of media where like more of the jokes are like based off the writing and the delivery and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I'm also really like a huge visionary person. Like I love The Irishman. That was fantastic.
You know what?
yeah.
See,
film.
and you know what? And I felt like The Irishman did not get a lot of good hype. I mean, I thought I heard a lot of people just complain that The Irishman wasn't a good movie.
Oh no, people kept complaining about it because people like they looked old and they're supposed to look young, and I hated that, but it was so good.
I absolutely loved The Irishman. I loved how it looked. I loved the writing in it. And like you said, I think that visually, Martin Scorsese is there. I think that Martin Scorsese may take this. It's between Martin Scorsese and Christopher Nolan. I think that when it comes down to directing, I think a lot of it is visually inclined. I think a lot of it is a big on a popularity and how it is casted out to people who watch it.
Oh yeah, that's the majority of the Oscars now.
Yeah. So, but if I had to choose, I'm still hopeful for Poor Things. Director.
All right, Poor Things for Sean.
I got to give it to Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese
I
for
really
Killers
hope
of the
he
Flower
gets
Moon.
it.
Okay, this is great. I'm still deciding in my head here, but I think at the end of the day, for me, it's just going to come down back to Christopher Nolan, just because he's been in the game for so long now, and like consistently he's coming out with movies that are amazing, and the fact that his latest is a 3-hour biopic and is able to reach over $1 billion in box office. I don't know if it has hit $1 billion yet.
Yeah.
I don't remember for sure,
Maybe, I
but
don't know.
that's still a very impressive feat, and that was like the biggest movie of the summer. And just the amount of effort and research that must have gone into that, and with all the practical effects with the bombs they set off. You know, there's like little to none CGI in that movie, and I
Yeah.
think that's just such an impressive feat to tackle this type of story. So I'm gonna have to go with Christopher Nolan. But there's only one way to find out. Let's take it away.
Well, before we announce the final winner, I just want to give a good shout out to all the people that was nominated and all the people that weren't nominated, and continue on with their dreams and continue on with their goals and their achievements. So that's what I wanted to say.
All right, so for the winner of the Best Director category, the Oscar goes to Christopher Nolan from Oppenheimer.
Oh man.
Down for
Okay.
that.
Now, do
I
you think Christopher Nolan's going to take it for the actual Oscars?
More than likely, yeah.
I think so. I think it could happen.
you
And I
know-
think Cillian Murphy's going to probably get Best Actor too,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest.
Yeah. This has been fun.
Yeah, no, this was an amazing episode. I hope we get to do this next year.
Yeah, 100%.
But that concludes the Verdict's Oscar special. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We'll be back for more after the break. So make sure to check out our next episode, The Verdicts One-on-One. We'll see you then.
Aye.